Hi, it's Sally Taylor. Thank you so much for your questions. And I figured I'd actually answer all of the ones that we've gotten the past couple hours. So, Daniel Adams, Jenny Villasuso, and Sophie Sizweski. I hope I'm saying that right. Daniel Adams, how are you doing? You asked if I was wrapping up Consensus for good, or just for the season, and the answer is that I am closing it up for good this chapter. So the next chapter is coming, and that actually folds into Sophie Sizweski's question. Now that your unique, amazing Consensus is coming to a close on Martha's Vineyard, what seeds have you planted that you'll see bloom in the next few years? So the plan is that this week is the last week. So if you haven't been into Consensus, you should definitely come in. And Sophie, it sounds like you have been in, so thank you for coming in. I am planning on doing the next Consensus with Mass Mocha, which is in North Adams, and hopefully that will be going up 2019. And so that'll take a lot of work to get done and get started. So that's what's going to happen when we close down. But we're also focusing this winter on putting together a curriculum for schools so that we can bring Consensus into the lives of children who can interpret each other's work and thus see the unity and the collaboration, the birth of their community, the birth of their tolerance, understanding, peace, empathy for one another's different versions of reality, and so that it can actually bring together the different disciplines in the school as well. So that's what we're going to focus on this winter and into next spring. So thank you so much for both of your questions. And Jenny Villasuso, you said, "Hey Sal, have you ever been faced with negative feedback in your work, and how do you handle it?" So that's a fantastic question. And yes, of course, I'm faced with negative feedback. And if I'm not getting negative feedback, I'm giving it to myself. I'm always super, super highly critical of my own work. And I think that's sort of normal for artists. All the artists that I know, including all of those in my family, are sort of most self-critical of themselves. And so the way that I handle it is I try not to listen to myself too much. I always try to take myself with a grain of salt. And then when I get negative feedback, first of all, there's some that I don't have to take. I don't have to read the reviews, and I don't have to, go sort of out seeking different people's ill opinions of me, which I used to do at one point. And so that's one thing I would say it's been really helpful in my career, both as a musician and as an artist. But then the other thing I would say is just to recognize that each person has their own point of view. Even if somebody's reviewing you or talking for a community and saying, we don't like this work, or we don't, this is not good, or this is wrong about your work, just to recognize that it's just their one version. It's just their one opinion. It doesn't actually stand, even if they say it stands for a community or it stands for a population, it doesn't. It stands for them, and whether or not they can take responsibility for that, or whether their ego requires them to speak for a larger body of people, is irrelevant. It really is just their opinion and their perspective. So just recognizing that everybody gets to have their own opinion, and you're going to attract some people and you're not going to attract others, and just to keep on doing what feeds your soul and your passion. Thanks for all your questions. See you next week after Consensus closes. Come to our final exhibit on the 24th. It's going to be an amazing auction, and you can actually bid online if you can't get there in person. So go to consensus.org/events to check it out. Okay, bye.